Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Ooh. Good evening. Those of you who could join me, hello. I know it's a bit later than what I'm used to for the UK gang. I'm sorry. I was just very excited. I wanted to share. Have you guys noticed something different? Yeah, we'll get to that. Thank you. Those of you who could join me, please drop a hi in the chat. I hope you are well. It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long week of work and life and everything. And yeah, those of you who could make it, thank you for joining me this evening. You will notice, hopefully, you've noticed something a bit different. Yes. What's different? What's different, guys, is I now have a filming room. Well, I won't call it yeah. This is like my art, my what I call my creative space. For those of you who've been on my channel, hello. My name is Neka, and if you've been coming in, whether as a subscriber, if you've not subscribed, why? Please subscribe. Even if you don't agree with my commentary, please subscribe. Why not? But yeah, a lot of things have changed as you can see literally overnight. I have a filming space. Before I would film anywhere in my place. Now I've decided to hello, Patricia. Now I've decided to, create a creative space for the filming. I have lighting, guys. Hallelujah. I have a stand now, proper one. I'm still trying to get the software so that we can do proper, streaming like everybody else with the computer. But for now, please bear with me. Do you like the red? Yeah. I positioned this so that you guys can see the fireplace because I want to put some artificial logs in here that produce light so we can add to the ambience. You may not be necessarily able to get the ambience because of the very strong lighting, but we'll get there. I am not a professional lighter, or whatever you call them. But yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is almost 10 p.m. in the UK, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me. I am very happy to have you here. Like I said, this is a very thank you. Yeah. It's not, I'll be honest, it's not necessarily a filming room, but at least it's a more creative space. So over time you will see some art on the wall. I want this room to be very dark and gothic, you know. So you might see some black candles with fake lights and everything. I'm a big because I live in an old house, so I live in the UK, and a lot of the homes that we have in the UK, they were built Victorian time, Edwardian times. This is when they were building homes that actually look decent, not the nonsense they are building now. And I'm a big fan of taking what already exists and accentuating it. It's an old house, so I'm not going to get overhead lights like that. I want to really play up with the shadows and, as much as possible, the authenticity of the old house, which is why I was very happy to see the fireplace. So over as give me some time. I think I'm going to order some fake logs from Amazon. It's not cheap because it runs on heat, on electricity. But even if I don't put the heat on, at least the lights will be here, so it will look like we have a fire. And yeah, I'm hoping that now that I have the space, we can have the ambience we need for our conversation, our chats. I do enjoy chatting with all of you, and I want to thank everybody. We are approaching the end of the year. Ooh, this will be my ninth month of running this account properly. I've had this YouTube account for a very long time, but I've never actually used it until this year. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for all their support, all their, for just staying with me, even when things are not great, even when I wasn't giving you the quality that you would see on other YouTube channels. Hopefully, as the audience grows and as more money comes on, we will get there. It's funny, it's not salmon, it's actually red. It's like earth core. It's supposed to be earth core. I was trying to get like the whole Spanish villa earth core terracotta. It came out looking more red than I wanted, to be honest with you. But a play with the lights, I'm using yellow lights, I think gives it that salmon effect. I have a lamp here that when I put that on, of course you can't see it now, it gives the room like a deep red effect. and I like that red effect. It feels very, what's the word I'm looking for? It feels like, I can't describe it. It feels like you're in a cave. And I've always liked rooms that feel like you're in the womb, that have that warmth and that, that warmth. So I'm a big fan of what I have here. And yeah, thank you all for complimenting the room. As more decorations come up, as more lights come up, it'd be nice to get your thoughts and your feedback. And yeah, this is my new filming space. Yes, that's why I said a quick light to celebrate that it looks okay. Those are plants. I'm going to put some lights on that so you'll see that the next time I come live. Make it feel a bit more Christmassy. And yeah, ladies and beautiful gentlemen, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's been a week, guys. It's been a week. It's been a week in the Sussex world. And I think we can all agree it's been a very difficult week. It started off as a very difficult week, but I think we're ending it on a very high note. And that's why I thought, let me come and do a live and give you guys the tea. Yeah. So for those of you who are joining the live for the first time, my name is Nneka again. This is a Sussex friendly space. If you go through my channel, you know we talk a lot about Duchess Meghan and sometimes Prince Harry, or sometimes both of them together. And the purpose of starting this channel really was to provide one of the very few spaces where people can come and listen to honest commentary about Meghan, not people who are using her name to spread hate, lies, and misinformation. Because unfortunately, guys, as we know, hate sells, anger sells, frustration sells. And if you look at a lot of the nonsense people say about Meghan and Harry, it really has nothing to do with reality. Meghan said it perfectly in her interviews that that person they're talking about is a caricature. She doesn't know who that person is. But this is an SEO that you have created and it makes you money. And if this is how you want to make your money, good for you. You do your thing. I don't mind. I think she's probably made. It's one thing to kind of ignore the commentary and say, I know it's not me. I think she has a famous quote where she says, a lie does not live forever. And she's right, but it still does get frustrating to see people be so almost cartoonishly hateful. That woman apparently cannot do anything right. So this is just me in my own tiny little way. I know my user numbers have not grown significantly, and I've kind of accepted that it most likely won't because I've, I am being true to myself, and I've always said it as a black woman. I have little to no interest in kicking down a fellow black woman to uplift myself. Would I have made way more money much faster if I was bashing Meghan? Yes, but I'm not going to do that because I am not going to use my name and my face to attack another woman of color. So if you want a place where people with no critical thinking and with no nuance or context cartoonishly attack Meghan, I am very happy to inform you that you are in the wrong channel and you are free to leave. But if you want a place where we admire, we're honest, and we try to straighten up the BS, then yeah, welcome and thank you for joining us. And please be polite, but if you are not, you will get dragged. I am not shy. So yes, this week, for those of you who may have been following along, has been an interesting one. I began, unfortunately, we began the week with a topic that I really didn't want. I think those of you who've been following me and you see my videos, you know that I really do not like talking about Meghan's family. And I mentioned on my shorts yesterday that I really had no intention of speaking about that family again. But I think to close off the week, I will give like a kind of quick run through where we are and just to kind of just tell us where we are and the drama with her ridiculous father. So as you all know, I'll keep it very short and very quick. Those of you who may have missed it, Meghan's waste man of a father had an emergency leg amputation in a hospital in the Philippines after what was considered to be a serious circulation problem in his foot. According to the Daily Mail, which again, and that's the thing that's frustrating, guys, because of the lies and the exaggeration, we will never really know how severe this was. If this was truly, I mean, anybody losing their leg is not a minor thing. So I'm going to assume that it was a life-saving operation. He, according to Daily Mail, from his hospital bed, he was appealing to see his daughter one last time. That could have been a text, Thomas, an email. But no. Thomas decided, I'm not going to call my children. And this includes his the other useless children he has. Oh no, he decided to quickly, while he was in the throes of death, apparently, he still had the presence of mind to text his favorite Daily Mail reporter and let her know. And that woman had the audacity to say that she's happy to facilitate a reconciliation between Meghan and her father. This Daily Mail reporter is Carol Graham, who has a highly unethical relationship with her subject matter. And if you look at the rules of journalism, I think I spoke, for those of you who saw my Meghan video, you know that I am very interested in how we commentators on YouTube are perceived from a legal perspective, because many people, I believe, have taken a lot of liberties with their platforms and in the way they report news, the way they go after people, which I think is highly unethical, and this feeds in quite nicely, because according to in UK law, it is very unethical for a journalist to have a personal relationship with the person they are reporting on. In fact, where there is a conflict of interest, it is recommended from an ethical perspective to pass the subject matter to a neutral third party, again to remove that conflict of interest. But I am so glad that the Daily Mail have decided to give a middle finger to ethics and establish a relationship with somebody who, honestly, if not for Meghan, nobody would be thinking about or even talking about. But well, I guess when you're a leech, you're a leech. Anyway, he established a relationship with a Daily Mail reporter who had the audacity to say that she's happy to act as an intermediary between Meghan and him. Anyway, Meghan was able to get a letter delivered to her father in the hospital after she tried to reach him via email. Apparently, he said he doesn't use that email, but well, the email did not bounce. So I don't know how you expected Meghan to know that. And of course, people that are wondering, because people like to act like their brains don't work when it comes to Meghan. Oh, why didn't you call your dad? The Daily Mail article literally said that Thomas Markle called a journalist to announce that he was losing his foot. Why would Meghan call her dad when most likely her dad's phone is, or even if his phone is not being intercepted, that woman is most likely sitting down right next to him, or he has clearly shown that instead of talking to his children, he prefers to talk to the press. And Meghan has made it very clear that she has no interest in playing that game. Thus, the reason why they are estranged in the first place. So to the idiots who keep on saying, why didn't Meghan call? You are just choosing to be obtuse, and I'm not going to entertain it. So anyway, Meghan, because she's very bloody brilliant, was able to get the US government involved and get the consulate involved, and was able to communicate with her father that way. And I'm so happy to report that as at this moment, because I believe the government intervened, and because I'm sure they would have followed every legal pathway to ensure whatever communication Meghan has with her father is protected. Because you see, if Daily Mail wants to test Meghan's gangster, I kind of want them to do it actually. I want them to leak that letter so that between Prince Harry's lawsuit and Meghan's lawsuit, we can finally bury that paper once and for all. So, I don't think even they are stupid enough. And I'm still hoping that Meghan takes legal action because I think that with what Carol Graham has done, there are grounds to sue actually. Because again, why are you having an intimate relationship with the so-called subject matter of your journalistic endeavors when it is clearly against ethics? But I will tie this back into another major headline, so please stay with me. Anyway, where we are today is Meghan has communicated with him and probably still continues to communicate with him. And I don't think we will ever hear about it because I don't think Daily Mail wants to be sued again. But you never know. Let's see how important it is to them. But I want to congratulate again. I've said it before. I want to say it again. Megan is effing brilliant because the way she handled it was masterful. And I personally do not see the Daily Mail crossing her again. At least not on this topic. I can see some people have said that they believe that Thomas Markle is probably using Carol Graham to write a book because I think there's some sort of arrangement between Carol Graham and Thomas Markle. When he dies, she gets all his shit. I don't know if that is really the case, but I'm sure that with what Meghan has done now, there are grounds to lay down groundwork to, maybe legally fight the Daily Mail. Because in as much as look, Thomas Markle is free to make anybody his next of kin if he wants, but I think because Thomas Markle himself has also come out to say that he is not physically or mentally, he's not physically well, that can be the grounds for a lawsuit that you have taken advantage of somebody who is physically and most likely mentally incapacitated to exploit and abuse that relationship for access. I really see grounds, guys, but I don't know how Meghan wants to handle it. We know that most likely anything that Thomas Markle tells Caroline Graham is going to be utter and complete nonsense and won't be true. But still, I can see Meghan wanting to protect not only herself but her family from whatever nonsense Thomas Markle wants to say. So I don't know. Watch this space, guys. I have a feeling that there might be something legal coming. Maybe not now, but maybe down the line. What was interesting was the royal commentary around it. Now, as you know, people are not reasonable when it comes to Meghan. They are very cartoonish. For whatever reason, things that are not acceptable seem to be acceptable when it's Meghan, and things that are acceptable seem to be not acceptable when it's Meghan. It's madness at this point. But I was very genuinely surprised to see some of the haters in the press even had to admit that this is highly inappropriate. I mean, right? And I always say this, whatever your feelings about Meghan, I don't give a damn if you like her or love her. I'm not here to change your mind. But can we all come together and agree? Because all of us have a family member of some sort. Can we come together and agree that it is highly unethical for a journalist to worm her way into somebody's life? Don't forget that this woman was the same person who entered Thomas Markle's life from when he missed Meghan's wedding, the same person that leaked Meghan's letter to him. Can we all agree that it is highly unethical for a journalist to take advantage, because she is taking advantage of whatever it is that is going on with Thomas Markle for her own financial benefit? Can we all agree, at least, ladies and gentlemen, whether you hate or love Meghan, that that's some bullshit and it's highly unethical? Anyway, the British press shockingly agrees, and they were saying it, they were calling it out. Even people that hate Meghan, they were saying things like, this is highly inappropriate, this relationship is highly inappropriate, and it's just a mess, yeah, and it's wrong. And let me get the specific ethical. Let me get the specific ethical. So, because many people, hi everyone. Many people will tell me things like, oh, it's because you're a Meghan fan. Um, because you're a Meghan fan or whatever. And I'm like, well, let's see what they say. So when Meghan's spokesperson raised up the unethical, non-ethical standards, Caroline Graham, the journalist that keeps on staying with Tom Markle, DMG Daily Mail Group responded. Thomas Markle asked Caroline Graham to be with him when he fell ill. Graham is a longtime friend, not just a reporter, was there to quote unquote support him. They denied the claim that every interaction was broadcast or ethical standards were violated. I personally disagree. If she was a personal friend, she ran to the press to release an article. Is I don't know, those of you that have friends, is this how your friends behave? And I'm sure some people have friends who have YouTube channels or who are journalists themselves. Do your friends run to report everything you tell them? Do they? I'm pretty sure if Graham is Thomas Markle's friend, she understands that he is estranged from his child. Mm? And she understands that by going to the media and running and releasing a Daily Mail article exploiting said friendship for engagement, that's wrong. It's just ridiculous. And on the context on media ethics, right, where this might be a problem for Caroline is if the reporter is deemed to have used, and I'm quoting here, undue influence, misrepresents her role and exploits a vulnerable person for coverage. So it's up to IPSO to do their investigation and come back and tell us. Because to me, Caroline Graham has used undue influence. What do you mean Thomas Markle text you instead of his three biological children when he was going through something like that? Especially Thomas Jr., who was actually living with him in the Philippines. That's some bullshit. And then when you say the misrepresentation of their role, you're his friend. So let's even play devil's advocate and say Thomas Markle was talking to you as a friend. How many friends go and publish on a national tabloid newspaper knowing the type of blowback it's going to get on a highly visible person, the medical details of their friend? And the final part, the exploitation of a vulnerable person. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Thomas Markle and Caroline Graham are idiots, because by publishing that article, right, they told the entire world that Thomas Markle is in medical peril, and Meghan can use that in a court to say, but you just said yourself that you were in medical peril, right? So you are a vulnerable person that is being exploited for coverage. You are. It doesn't matter if he gave his consent or not, right? Because it could be argued that he's 81 years old, he's in pain, he has this weird financial relationship with Caroline Graham. Because don't get it twisted, guys, it is financial. They could in court say, yes, he may have given his consent for but he gave his consent for financial benefit. So Caroline Graham has something to gain, right, from this relationship. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not arguing it well, but I'm saying that there are enough grounds, right? There's a reason why when people have wills, their children contest them. If you are seen to be medically ill when you sign the legal document, it can be contested that you were not in the right state of mind. The same thing could be said with this Daily Mail issue. And let me tell you how I know Daily Mail realizes how they fucked up with this situation. Following articles that we're talking about, Meghan's spokesperson and the follow-on from that case was not written by Caroline Graham. Why is that? Why did they find a new journalist to put on the face of the article? They found a new journalist because Meghan's letter exposed them. Because if Meghan decides to take this legally up, she has a case. So yeah, I think I want to once again congratulate Duchess Meghan, because honestly that was masterfully done. Am I saying that this means that the Daily Mail will leave her alone? Guys, I wish I could say that, but I hear you, Electra, but I'm just saying in a legal, like for now that the world can see the weird and borderline exploitative relationship the Daily Mail has with Thomas Markle, when he finally gets dragged into hell, I think they have an arrangement that they will get all his documents and all the files that he has on Megan. So Megan could maybe file an injunction based off this experience and other things to kind of stop them from publishing anything that's personal to her family. I really think she will go that route, but I don't know if we will find out about this publicly. But let's see. I don't want the best for Megan's dad. Left to me, he can burn in hell for like you. I really want him to suffer painfully all the way because he's going to die soon. I want it every day on on this earth for him right now until he passes on to hell to be a painful experience. And the reason for that is the way she has treated his child. That man doesn't get any sympathy from me. He doesn't love Megan. Some of us need to understand that your parents don't love you. Your parents don't love you. Period. They may have had you, but they don't love you. Because how do you love your own child and you allow anything that Thomas has done to his child to happen? He hurt her, he humiliated her, has tried to destroy her every way. Now he's crying on his sickbed. Not because he wants to reconcile with her and clear his conscience, but because he wants to make money. Think about that. And now the burden of forgiving him is on Megan. Nah, F that. Thomas Markle, wherever you are, I'm sending you all the bad karma that can come your way. I hope you're suffering and I hope you continue to suffer. And this also goes, exactly, so and this also goes for his children as well. Thomas Markle Jr. had a YouTube channel, which I'm not even going to talk about, but apparently he released a video which I never saw, thank God, where he was more or less calling for violence against Megan. It was so bad apparently that YouTube had to take it down. Nah, screw all of them. Don't even get me started on her idiot sister. They are all criminals. The last thing I would say to close off this topic is, did you guys hear that apparently in that video that Thomas Jr. released, he had the audacity to say that Netflix should come and give them some money. I think it was about $10 million for the life rights of Thomas Markle. And I was like, Thomas Jr., I don't think you understand that the only reason why Netflix, who already has a very intimate and personal relationship with Megan Sussex, by the way, the only reason why they would ever need to talk to you or your father or your sister or anybody in your family is because of Megan Sussex. And they already have Megan Sussex. So why would they give you any money? They didn't invite you for the Harry and Meghan documentary. Why the hell would they invite you for Meghan? When Meghan decides, if Meghan decides to have her own documentary, why the hell would they invite you? They'll just listen to her and save themselves the stress. So yeah, Thomas Markle Jr., go to hell. And Samantha, all of you, go to hell. So now we are nicely closing that ridiculous. Can you imagine? They are saying that they want her to send private jets to come and pick up Thomas. Who are you to make demands about Megan? All that money that you've made selling out your sister, lying on your sister, going on wasn't Thomas Markle on I think Australian celebrity, what was it, Big Brother or something like that. All that money that he made from his channel where he was brutalizing and racially attacking Megan for years, you don't have 200k. All that money that you used to travel to Philippines, you don't have any money anymore. Get the fuck out of my face. They can all go to hell as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, a nice bow on that. Megan, congratulations to you, Jerry. So let's talk about Prince Harry. For those of you in the UK, there is a show currently. I'll check it out tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a mini recap if I get Oh yeah, tomorrow is Friday. Woo! I'll try and watch it on BBC iPlayer. I might watch it on my Discord. So if you guys want to, I think I'll watch it on my Discord. I'm going to do a Discord live where we can watch it together. Um, I didn't want to monetize the Discord though. I'll do a Discord live where we can watch it together. But there's a documentary on BBC Dispatches, I think, when they talk about Harry and the tabloids. So I'm going to do a Discord live tomorrow night. It will have to be at night, guys, because I may be having a sound bath at 7:30. So I will not be available to 8 p.m. 8 p.m. 8:30 p.m. UK time. So unfortunately, that's where we can do the Discord. If you're around, come and join me and we can watch it together and react together. I'll put the Discord information. I think this will be useful, especially for the non-British people, because I don't know if they're showing it in the US, but they are doing a documentary which you can all watch together and react together. Shout out to those of you who could join my last Discord live, where we were live reacting to Megan's Christmas episode. I hope you can join me on Discord tomorrow. I'll post it on the channel. Yeah, Prince Harry. Prince Harry has had one hell of a month though. And I'm going to quickly recap on Prince Harry. So, as we know, Prince Harry is gearing up for his legal actions against the UK tabloids. They've started to intimidate him in the media. They are saying, "Oh, Harry, you going against Daily Mail could cost you 38 million." And I'm like, well, Harry isn't the only one coming after you. So he is one of the claimants. So I don't know who they're trying to intimidate. Really, Harry has faced Mirror Group. Who else has he's faced like three tabloids and he's won. So I don't know why you think he'll be scared of you, Daily Mail. Please, well, ridiculous. Oh yes, the Associated Newspapers Limited. That's what Daily Mail falls under. The hearings will continue in 2026, and as always, we'll keep you guys up with the tea. Let's continue. Let's quickly catch up on Harry. So Harry has, with his Travelist sustainability business, where he is the CEO, he has hired a new chairman, I believe. And I know we don't talk about it enough because it's not salacious, but I'm beginning to pay attention to the Travelist, guys. Let me tell you what I found. So he's made a number of media appearances. Like I said, I've already spoken to you guys about the Prince versus the paper hacking and the email, which I will be doing a Discord live tomorrow. If you can join me on Discord, we will live react together. Um, um, Harry spoke. This is very important, yeah. So Harry, a few days ago, I think day before yesterday also. Unfortunately, the Meghan and her father drama unfortunately drowned this out. But this is very interesting. Harry spoke at the British American Business Council's Christmas luncheon in Montecito, guys, on December 5th. He made jokes about the family, the royal family drama, and compared life in the palace to Downton Abbey, ha ha ha, whatever. But guys, the big story there is, let me say it again, British American Business Council. So what is the British American Business Council? I will tell you. I have a list here of some of their biggest achievements. So let me tell you how this is very cool for Harry. The British American Business Council's its main initiative, right, and its impact is leading transatlantic trade network. So it is one of the largest and most influential transatlantic business networks, representing hundreds of companies from small enterprises to major multinational corporations across the UK and US corridors. Its membership and network help firms find partners, navigate foreign markets, and expand globally. And guess who was invited to their Christmas event? Prince Harry. I'm going somewhere with this. Promoting trade, investment, and policy advocacy, the council actively promotes pro business policies and regulatory environments that support transatlantic trade and investment, acting as a voice for members on both American and US governments. Transatlantic growth, tag, and recognition. Every year, they run a Transatlantic Growth Awards, which celebrate companies that significantly expand across the Atlantic, create jobs, and reinforce economic ties between the UK and the US, right? High level industry and leadership awards, wide ranging networking events. And Prince Harry was invited to their Christmas event. Guess who wasn't invited to their Christmas event, guys? Just guess. Not King Charles and not Billy Idol. Prince Harry. And I want people in the UK to tell me that Harry is not influential. They didn't invite the future king, ladies and gentlemen. Because we can't even forgive Charles. Charles is sick, he's old. William would have happily flown, if he would have hauled himself all the way from the UK to the US to attend that event. They didn't invite him, they invited Harry. When I tell you people that all these emotional support pools that they are doing, hmm, it's just to make the tabloids feel better about themselves. They didn't invite the future king, they didn't invite the future queen, they didn't invite anybody from the UK. They invited America. And let me tell you why. Because of the global visibility and media attention. They knew who to invite. They knew that inviting Harry instantly elevates the event's profile, right? In both the UK and US press. And because Harry lives in America, right? But he remains a very powerful and well recognized member of the British royal family. It was a thing of prestige to see him there. And again, I think if you think about it, guys, his life in California represents a living metaphor of the UK and US partnership, which aligns perfectly with the British American Council. And it helps, I love what they said here, it helps to frame the council as modern, inclusive, and in tune with contemporary global culture, rather than just cultural or government ties. Networking. And this is the cool part. This is the part that I know will piss off Prince William. Executives, diplomats, philanthropists are more likely to attend. Did you catch that? They are more likely to attend and sponsor an event with a royal guest of Harry's caliber. Sit on that. But I thought they told us that that Prince William was the most popular, was second most popular royal next to our favorite ED, Skeletor. Sorry, Princess Kate. Why didn't they invite them? I will leave you to stew on that one. And yeah, so those are some of the big hits that are coming through. I also mentioned that Harry is getting his Ravec. He's getting risk assessed, right? And I don't know, I'll be honest, guys, I don't know what that means for Harry. They are doing the risk assessment, yes, But I don't know. I guess we wouldn't know. I personally think they're going to give it to him. And the reason they're going to give it to him, if nothing else, the Invictus Games, because Harry needs to be here. He needs to be coming to the UK to, for the sponsors and getting things together. And let's keep it 500%. Let's keep it 500%. The main attraction is not just going to be Harry. We all know the main attraction is the Queen of England herself, Duchess Meghan. Harry has not attended any Invictus Games over the past since he got with Meghan without Meghan. So they're going to have to figure it out. I am curious because we all know that I feel like Harry is going to get it. I am curious to see how. I don't think Meghan is bringing her kids here though, or if she is, it's going to be very secretive. But I don't think she will bring her kids here as part of the Invictus because she wouldn't want the press on them. So I'm guessing Megan will come. And let's not get it twisted. We all know the British press are very excited and their nipples are hard with anticipation. Let me roll my eyes. I look forward to it though. If Megan could step foot in this UK next year, I think that would be cool. Maybe somebody, and guys, if she comes to the UK, those of us that are in the UK, we have an opportunity to show up and show out. I'm not going to lie. I have no interest in going to Birmingham. But if she's in London and I'm around, I could go to an event that she's at. Why not? I don't know about standing in the rain for her because I'll be busy. But how amazing would that be? And maybe, I mean, to be fair, I think Meghan will come for the sake of Harry. Let's keep it 500%. Just like I also feel that Meghan will come when King Harry decides to, when King William, King Charles dies. She's not coming for anybody but her husband. Let's be fair. She came for Queen Elizabeth's burial. She will come, do her thing, and leave. And don't forget when she was in, when it was in Canada, she was there for like a day. She came, did her thing, and left. So I can see Meghan here for like 24 hours, 48 hours, and she's out. Because I know she's not going to bring her kids, and she won't want to be away from her kids for that long. So, yeah. But the fact that she's coming, have you noticed that the news articles have started losing their minds now? Meghan hasn't said she's coming, but they've already started. Yeah, exactly. Meghan hasn't said she's coming, but the British press, because they are trash, have already started releasing newspapers that Kate is willing to extend an olive branch of forgiveness. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how they started to twist the narrative now? That Meghan has not yet said she's coming. They've already started changing the narrative that okay, well, fine, if she comes, Kate might be able to forgive her. Right? When I tell you these people are jokers, all of them, complete jokers. This woman has not been in this country for what 6 years, almost 6 years. Almost 6 years, this woman has not been in this country, but she dominates the news at least every week. And you're telling me that this is not the Queen of England. Even the King does not get this type of traction. She's the real Queen of England, and I want the Rangers to know that. Yeah, so that's the story. If more comes out of Avec, of course, you guys know I'll give you the tea. And yeah, what else has been happening? Oh, yes. This one I was very excited about. I was I was supposed to mention this the other time, but I forgot I moved Harry's stuff up. But it overlaps nicely with Harry. This one I'm very excited about. So, guys, the Leveson inquiry is back in the news. A number of people are calling. A number of people are calling for Leveson too, guys. A lot of people are calling for Leveson too. Yep. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Leveson 1. In summary, Leveson 1 was basically a committee that was set up to investigate the unethical practices of press and media police relationships. And what came out of it was so scandalous, it destroyed the news of the world. And let me get some more tea on that actually. It happened in 2012, and it focused on media culture and ethics. This part two was supposed to investigate criminal conduct, how deeply unlawful activities such as phone hacking and bribery of the police occurred across the press, whether the police and regulators were complicit or negligent. But then, as we all know, part two was never conducted. It was delayed because key criminal proceedings were ongoing at that time. And by 2018, it was cancelled. The parliament rejected any efforts to revive it. Now, what people are saying is Legacy 2 is being thrown around again because they are looking at the ongoing legal actions Prince Harry is taking against the British tabloids, and it is springing up this conversation again. They are saying that Harry and others allege unlawful information gathering. Some legal filings in these cases have referenced documents or evidence from the original Leviston inquiry, showing Leviston inquiry's work is still beneficial in press lawsuits today. But because there is no official government decision to revive it, it's tricky. So now it's back in the press. So Gary McCann, the father of Madeleine McCann, that very heartbreaking story that happened years ago, where a family went holidaying in Portugal and one of their child, Madeleine McCann, was taken away. Gary McCann, her father, has reignited calls for the second phase of the Leviston inquiry to examine press conduct and media police relationships. He says his family was monstered by intrusive press coverage after his child vanished. And I do agree. The press was completely out of line with the coverage. Prince Harry also obviously has backed Gary McCann's campaign for tougher regulation and greater scrutiny of the British press, emphasizing the harm excessive media intrusion can cause. The government, unfortunately, though, has remained unchanged. And I'm hoping that, as more of these lawsuits happen, and I don't know what will make the government pick this up again, I'll be honest, guys. But like, I'm hoping that as Harry goes to, I'm hoping that, I think what will get public scrutiny is like now there's the Dispatches show. I'm going to try and see if we can watch live tomorrow on Discord together. Those types of shows, if the media, the people start demanding for it, and more of the Harry lawsuits, like what happened with Meghan now and her dad, I think it could get this is something that I think the people are going to have to push the government to do. I don't think they have the appetite. Why? Because let's not forget that all of them benefit from this. Right now, the BBC is focusing a lot on Farage and the Reform Party instead of focusing on Labour and parties that. So there is that bias in the press. And I do believe that they all have a vested interest in ensuring that these inquiries don't come to light. But if the people like me and you demand it, I don't think they'll have a choice. I think if people make enough stink, it will happen. Yeah, I think if we make enough stink, it will happen. But we have to make enough stink. So, let's see. I will be honest, there's been quite some news, but I don't know if it's worth talking about. We all know that the only people we all care about is Harry and Meghan. And we're talking about Harry and Meghan. Princess Kate had her flop Christmas service that nobody spoke about. Nobody. Nobody spoke about Princess Kate's Christmas service. I didn't even remember to even bring it. Oh, well, unless I was using it to drag her, though. She had a Christmas service, for those of you who care to know. She had a Christmas service, and what the British media decided to report on, not the Christmas service, Thomas Markle and Meghan. That is what they spent Friday night talking about. That's what they spent Saturday night talking about. Nobody spoke about Princess Kate's event. They said they did, and I'm like, no, you didn't. ITV, for what I mean, ITV had it on their Twitter. They had to turn off the views. That's how trash it was. I keep looking for the Christmas service ratings. Let me see if I find it. I keep waiting to see like where was she on the recent? Yeah. Okay. So let me just prepare all of you. The Together at Christmas lineup was aired, and according to early info suggests it did not rank highly in TV ratings relative to other seasonal broadcasts. Official 2025 viewership figures have not been released. I think they will come out later in the month. Yikes. I'm looking forward to seeing what they are because you know me, that will be my breaking news. And I'll be sure to drag Kate Middleton and say. So, yeah. So, as we all know, Megan. Oh, yeah, sorry, let me just close it. I know that was so embarrassing for I was so embarrassed for Kate. Oh my god. Megan's holiday Christmas special, as we know, reached top 10 in many countries, UK, Australia, Canada, and there was very, let me quote, solid streaming interest globally. We don't have the ratings for that, guys, but I'll be sure to get it to you. And I think let's not underestimate how incredible Megan's show did. Don't forget that for like a few days, what was in the news was the Sean Diddy Combs documentary with 50 Cent. That was all over social media. There was also Stranger Things, and her show got to top 10. In many places, it got to number 5. That's how well it tracked. So she did very well, very well. A very good performance against stronger shows with more public interest. So I mean, I'm not going to knock her. That was fantastic. We watched, those of us that are here, we've watched it. So I know that many of us enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. Oh yes, and some quick news very quickly. So Meghan and Harry have some documentaries out on Netflix. They have the Massacre Kids, which I haven't watched yet. I was going to watch it tomorrow. But I think what I'll do is, instead of watching that, I'm going to do the Discord with the BBC documentary on Harry's case. Let me see. Yeah. So there's the Massacre documentary. Um, Cookie Queens, that's the one I was looking for. So Harry and Meghan have been marked as executive producers for a for a documentary that will be shown at Sundance called Cookie Queens. It's about Girl Scout cookies. I think it's very cute. Meghan released a statement about this. Let me get her statement. Because we all know, we've all seen that very cute picture of baby Meghan as Girl Scout, um, a Girl Scout trooper. So the Cookie Queens is a documentary film that Meghan and Harry are executively producing through their production company, Ashwell Productions. It's not about them personally, but instead follows traditions and challenges of Girl Scout cookie season in the US. It focuses on girls between the ages of 5 and 12 and their families as they navigate fun, pressure, entrepreneurship, because we know Megan, and high stakes of selling Girl Scouts cookies. So the story is described as heartfelt, rich, and joyful. So for Megan, as we've said, it's a personal connection. It is slated to premiere at 2026 Sundance Film Festival. I don't know if Megan or Harry will attend. I don't know. So let's see. But yeah, Megan was a Girl Scout, so and her mom was a troop leader. Oh, that's cute. Do you think Doria should sue Carol Malone for defamation? Oh hell yeah! To me, it should be if like, we know the Sussexes don't like announcing everything. Personally, it should be a package deal. Since you're going after UK tabloids, go after GB News separately, and also go after Daily Mail. Let it be a two for. Because honestly, I want Carol Malone to never work again. That woman deserves to be on a YouTube page somewhere so that I can block her. I never see or hear from that stupid woman again. And yeah, because how do you go on national TV on this? Because we all know GB News is basically, the comment section of Daily Mail, toilet paper. But how do you go on a national on what is considered to be a national quote unquote news platform and tell people that Megan went to jail, Megan's mom went to jail? No evidence. And this is what I'm saying, guys. When we talk about media and journalistic integrity, the fact that you can call yourself a news channel and you say something like that, BBC wouldn't say that, ITV wouldn't say that, even Sky News wouldn't say that. Do you know why? Because they may hate Megan and despise her, but if you call yourself a news channel, then at the very least you tell the truth. Or if you're going to lie, you bring verifiable information. Where is the verifiable information that Doria Ragland went to jail? In fact, somebody on X posted, I'm just saying it allegedly because I don't know, I can't verify if this is true. Somebody on X posted that Doria has renewed her social services license. And according to you, I don't know if it's an American thing or a California thing, Doria cannot work in social services if she has a criminal conviction. So can someone explain to me how it's possible that Doria is a convicted criminal if she's working in social services? And the fact that the man that went to prison, his name was Dorian Ragland, not Doria. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is how ridiculous this is. The British press are no friends of Meghan. So if you go to prison in America, that's publicly available information. They can literally go on whatever it is they use to Google prison information and check and see if Doria went there at all. And what gets me is that nobody on GB News challenged her. That guy that was asking her, he just looked at her and he was like, Doria went to jail. What are you talking about? But even the way he said it, he didn't even say it with any level of conviction. He just said it like as if he just wanted to call it out. And I'm like, this is not true. And even if you weren't sure, challenge her. Where did you get that information from? How do you know she went to prison? Who told you that? If you know what I mean. But they just let people lie with impunity. Nobody ever says, what? If you know what I mean. No kind of pushback. I hope she gets sued. Tom Bowers. But I don't know. I think if you start suing everybody, I don't blame Megan for not wanting to get involved because she has other things to worry about. If you start suing Megan, if Megan starts suing everybody, where will she even finish? There are too many of them, like ants. Which is why I've been paying very close attention to Andy Signor and the mess he's gotten himself into. Andy Signor has been going everywhere to whine at everybody because a court in Florida told him that he is not a journalist. And you know me, guys, I always love listening to all these types of things because I really think as a commentator myself and people that I hate being harassed by so-called media outlets. I love seeing, it's all well and good to say rubbish online, but it doesn't hold up in court, does it? And there's a video that I was going to react to, but I didn't. Between Andy Signal and Billy Bush, there's only so much white male whining I can deal with at any one time. Andy Signal, when Blake Lively subpoenaed him, because Andy Signal, being the grifting bastard that he is, wanted to make a documentary on this case while it is in active litigation, which again, it is not something that people don't do, but a proper journalist would have known how to handle it better and how to protect his or her sources. So Andy Signal is not legally a credentialed or institutionally recognized journalist. He is a YouTuber and commentator who runs a channel. He doesn't work for any news organization, hold any press credentials, or follow newsroom editorial process. So under US law, he is not press. Now, and the Signal, when he was found not to be press, have been whining to everybody that First Amendment, First Amendment. Look, apparently, and this is for the Americans, you guys have things like state shield laws and First Amendment reporters privilege, the right to keep your sources confidential. Some recent rulings have recognized independent creators as journalists if their job involves information gathering, verifying facts, disseminating news to the public. Now, and the Signal is a liar. And you say, and if I were Blake Lively, and I cannot believe I'm supporting Blake Lively on this. If I were Blake Lively, I would just get all his videos about Duchess Meghan and say, does this sound like a journalist to you? Targeted harassment, that's journalism. Gathering information from where? Verifying facts, and the Signal lies. And disseminating news to the public. Again, he lies. So a journalist is telling you somebody went to an event. A journalist doesn't give you an opinion unless they are doing a commentary and an opinion-based program. And they always make it clear that it is opinion-based. And don't forget, guys, in old world journalism, any opinions they put out there, even if the opinions are not true or maybe an exaggeration, they have sources to back them up. They don't just come in front of a camera, in front of people watching, and just say whatever nonsense comes into their mind. And this is what I keep on talking about. A lot of these big platform YouTubers, they want all the benefits of commentating. But I would argue that the reason why you are so popular in the first place is because you are giving the audience something different. You're giving them, instead of me going to the news and hearing a 5-minute blurb on Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni, I come to you to give me the breakdown, right? Yeah, that is why commentators are attractive to people nowadays. Instead of me having to, you want that extra, but that extra works because we know that you are not a journalist. We know that you are not ethical, because an ethical journalist would not be commentating the way I am. I am not a journalist. Or the way Andy does. He's not a journalist. And this is how you know Andy is not a journalist. He was trying to do a deep dive undercover documentary, but he was announcing it everywhere on his channel. He was letting everybody know that he was going to release a documentary. He was interviewing people very publicly. Is that how you do a documentary that is an exposing? 50 Cent has recently released Sean Combs' documentary. All the things he puts in there, he wasn't going on his I'm not saying 50 Cent is a journalist, but the people that were working with him were not broadcasting it around the world. They weren't telling everybody what they were up to. Because again, you know that if you start doing that, people can sue you. People might, and they can. Because even journalists too, right? When you're having a deep dive expose, you have to be careful to protect your sources unless they want to be on camera. So because Andy Signor is a grifter and was trying to get people to pay for his journalism, that's why he was announcing it and parroting it all over the world. Now he's gotten into trouble. He's screaming about First Amendment rights. What are you talking about? Anyway, the law court told him, you are not a journalist. The information that Blake Lively asked you for, you better produce it. Now he's crying to Billy Bush's podcast. He's crying on his platform that it's an invasion of his rights. And I'm like, okay, Andy. He said he's appealing his case. I personally don't see anybody giving him anything, frankly. I could be wrong though, because America, your legal system is weird. Different states, different things. But let's see. He said he's taking it to the 11th Circuit. I'm curious to see what they say. And I'm glad, I keep on telling you, anything that has to do with media, guys, makes me happy. Why? Because, like, for example, he has appealed to the 11th Circuit. So that means that because he's done that appeal and they give a legal documented response, then it can set a precedent. And I hope they come back and say, look, YouTubers, you guys are commentators. If you choose to do too much, that's on you. But a journalist has ethics they need to follow. If you're not following any of those ethics, you are not a journalist. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to be a journalist and you want to use your YouTube channel to do it, then go and get the certifications that you need. Go and get the ethical training that you need so that you don't blow privilege or you don't offend people in your journalistic pursuits. But like I said, people want all the benefits of YouTube and none of the hard work. But yeah, I'm gonna I continue to keep my eye on that case because I'm hoping it sets a precedent. If it's deemed that people on the internet are not journalists, then I want Meghan and Harry to just unleash. I want them to go after it. And I love what Elfa said. Even if it's just one person, set that precedent. Oh, thank you, Joyce. Yes, it's supposed to be red, like earth core red, but I think the lighting is giving it, according to what they said, a salmon color, which is interesting. Because I didn't want the lighting to be too harsh with this with my new lights. I didn't want harsh TV lights on me, so I just thought let me do a soft glow. Maybe that's why the room feels very salmony. Well, yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I stayed longer than I thought this wouldn't be more than 40 minutes max, but here I am 1 hour. It's all because of you guys. You guys continue to support me and encourage me, and I'm thankful to each and every one of you. I appreciate all your support, all your kind words. Those of you who joined my live, I'm thankful because it keeps me going, right? To see regular faces, to see Joyce, to see Sandra, to see Electra, to see Joyda, to see people, Elfans. It just keeps me going. Patricia, you guys have become like my regulars, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for sitting with me, for listening to me. You make me very happy. So thank you. And yeah, so I'm going to post on the channel. I'm going to do a Discord live tomorrow so that we can watch the Prince Harry versus the Press documentary on the BBC. Because I know many of you in America may not have it. So it'd be a nice way for us to interact and talk on Discord. If I can't do it on Friday, I'll do it on Saturday night. And I'm also going to do another Discord where we watch the Massacre documentary together. And yeah, thank you for liking my new filming room. I don't have a TV in here because I don't believe in that. But when we're watching the documentary, we'll be downstairs in the living room. And then, yeah, it'd be nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to let you guys go. And I think what I'm going to introduce is I'm going to introduce Q&A sessions so that after I give my updates, we can talk together, we can ask me questions, we can answer them together. And yeah, This has been very, very fun. I've loved talking to you. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. And thank you for liking my new filming room. I like it too. The next time, hopefully, I don't. We will have logs in the fireplace and make it feel very cozy and sweet. Rocking chair. Maybe I will set the camera in a different way. Maybe move it back a bit more so that you can see the fireplace and everything. And yeah, thanks, guys. I'm going to let all of you go now. It's after 10 p.m. here. There's work tomorrow. And I will see all of you on the flip side. Bye. Oh.